The Everything Sequel podcast contains explicit language. 'Cause we learned it from you, Dad. Hello and welcome to the Everything Sequel podcast. This is a wrap-up edition. My name is Michael Shantz. I'm from the How Dare You Awards. Joining me, the wrap-up man himself, Tom Stewart of Lonesome Whistle Productions. Give it to him, Tom.
I saw Brideshead Revisited 3 times. It's a line from Three Men and a Little Baby.
Okay.
Little lady.
Lady.
Not little baby.
That was my guess.
3 men and a little baby. What a redundant little...
You know, we really love the script, but I've got one note. I think the title, you could cut one word.
Well, you are called Spock, so I assume you're an expert on children.
Yes, of course. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, we quite miraculously discovered 4 new 1990 single sequels. And this is our inversion point where we gotta talk about how good they are, how bad they are, and rank them. Now,
yes,
Tom, what do you want to do? Do you want to rank them just against each other?
I don't.
And
want to do
the originals,
this, so...
or you what?
I don't want to do this, so
at all.
No. I don't know if you've noticed, but I've been putting this off. I've never, and I guess this is true with the first half of our coverage as well. I've never known a set of movies that was so on the line between good and bad. Like
you're right. You're like absolutely right. Yeah.
A couple of these, I feel like I know, but they're not too far in either direction, either way.
Nope, you're right.
So, and I'm, it's a period of cinema that I'm so attached to that I'm afraid that any judgment I make within it will be informed by comfort and nostalgia and not.
Those things are okay.
To an extent, yeah, but
come on.
I don't know if I saw 3 Men and a Little Lady now for the first time, I don't think I'd think much of it.
I don't know. I hadn't seen it.
Well,
I
saw The Rescuers. I had no nostalgic attachment to The Rescuers Down Under, and
yeah,
and from the last episode, I think you can tell I'm quite fond of it.
So I think part of my problem is that I went into basically, I'm going to say all 4 of these movies expecting one thing to happen and having a more delightful surprise end up happening.
Yes.
Which raises them all in my esteem, but I have to, I really do have to take a good, whole, hard, cold look at are they really good?
And it helps that we can re-rank them as well, I think.
Yes.
Because we can get some context, at least. We don't have to just judge them against each other.
But should we do both? Should we rank them against just each other and then draw the other 4 in?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I don't know. There's no precedent for this. We can do whatever we want.
Our failure is...
And we've come full circle as well, because when we started the 1990 single sequels, we introduced a whole new format to the podcast.
Yes, right.
So I'm not saying we'll stick with this, but this is also uncharted territory.
True.
So we're doing it on the fly again.
It cannot be denied.
But even if those surprises weren't necessarily present, they were all surprising to me.
Yeah.
I went in expecting one thing and I got another.
Me too.
Every time. Which
yeah.
And
And some
cinema
of
does
them,
that.
like at least a couple of them, I was so sure of what I was going to see and got something so far from what I thought I was going to see.
And cinema does that to me less and less. It's very hard now for a movie to surprise me.
Yeah, right.
A new movie to surprise me. I feel like I know where it's going pretty quickly, pretty soon into the film. So that's definitely a plus.
Can't disagree. All right. We need to rank. We have to declare. Are we pitching on one of these?
It's a stick or twist situation. You want to stick with your original 1990 single sequel pitch, which, as I remember, was the same movie for both of us. A third installment of the Gremlins series,
Yeah.
which both involved what's his name becoming president.
That's right.
I don't know. Now we're out of the fog of the Trump presidency. We might want to.
Right.
I have a couple of thumbnails, but nothing too developed.
Yeah, me
So
too.
we'll see.
I kind of worked out a sketch of one idea.
Okay.
So maybe
Yeah,
we can.
Oh, okay. I guess we'll bounce off. Some
bounce
pitches
those
as well.
All right, you want to rank
It's a free
first?
for all. It's a everything sequel pick and mix.
Yes, exactly. Let's rank first. Let's rank
Okay.
these four against just each other.
Okay.
Which of these four films did you think topped the list? You're laughing already.
I'm laughing already because it's the last film I expected to think this of.
All right.
I think the most accomplished film is The Rescuers Down Under.
I do too. I mean, it's like,
The least problems of all of these films.
yeah, that's the thing.
But there's one key difference though, which is it's not a movie with people in it.
But still.
No, it's still a movie. It's a feature-length
But we
movie.
still,
So...
I mean, part of what we talked about in that movie is you don't even need faces to make the movie good. So,
Sold. Rescuers Down Under it is. Top of my list. Problem with two Jakes, too many faces. too many faces.
so many faces in that movie.
It's face after face after face.
I want to work towards becoming a legitimate reviewer just so I could put that in print. Movie has
Imagine that.
Too many
Imagine
faces.
You were a legitimate film reviewer, but your one hang-up in movie was faces. You develop a cult around your people who just wanted you every week to go. And I mean, there was a face in one scene, and that was up against another
Followed
face.
by
there was
another
even a face in the
face.
background.
Avengers Endgame? What? Just a moving shot of 43 different faces? Get out of
There's
here.
a lot of buzz about this movie, Gandhi, but let me tell you, entirely too many faces for my liking.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. It literally is the last movie that I thought would be at the top of my list. And even now, I feel weird about it.
Yeah, I do too. But I think that weirdness is, again, I spoke to a little bit, this is some of my prejudices against animated movies that whenever I see the animated movie, see an animated feature, I go, oh god, this is like some of the best filmmaking I've ever seen. So
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
it must be a cultural thing that makes you treat them less seriously.
Right.
But you actually should be treating them more seriously.
Yeah. And we spoke about it at length during the Down Under episode, but because of where it sits in the timeline of Disney films, where it's, retro and nowtro.
Yeah. Right.
All at the same time, there's more than just an animated movie going on. There's something else to kind of dig into as a viewer that is interesting. So
I agree.
when you add that on top of just a well-made movie,
yeah,
I didn't think it would be the movie at
a
the top of my
well-made thriller.
list. Yeah, right.
Well, that's it. Like, what if
I
you're
know.
comparing
We're
it
comparing
to
it to like Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, but we're also comparing it to The Two Jakes,
I know. Yeah, right.
which is a less successful thriller than The Rescuers Down Under. Right?
Yeah, you're right.
No
You are
voiceover.
right. Yep.
No extraneous storytelling.
Right. That's something else we talked about entirely. That movie accomplished everything it needed to
Yeah.
and then stopped.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. All right.
It is. So we are, in a way, the more you break it down, the more you realize you're judging it's like for like.
Mm-hmm. All right. These next three movies are still
I have
tough.
to keep reminding myself of what they are.
So, okay, left on your board, sir,
Okay.
is Three Men and a Little Lady, Graffiti
Yes.
Bridge,
Right.
and The Two Jakes.
Okay.
And to remind you, you have said that The Rescuers Down Under is on the top of all of them. So
that
what-
is something that actually is something I'm certain of.
Okay.
And then now it gets a
You're
little bit
right,
muddy.
because I'm not sure. I am sure about The Rescuers Down Under, and I didn't think I would be. But my second movie, on any given day, I could change my mind.
Go for it.
So, I mean, we've already talked about at length in each episode about the problems that each of these movies have.
Yes.
So, okay, they
The Rescuers had exactly one problem. Carry on.
Yes. But, so for me, it kind of came down to, I mean, still all the regular shit. Like, what's the best movie? Okay, they're maybe not great movies, but which one did I enjoy the most? And maybe even which one surprised me the most? And for me, it was Three Men and a Little Lady.
What?
I was delighted by that movie, and that movie had surprises for me that I did not expect. And go back and listen to the episode to, hear more about that. But I was really surprised that that movie was as good a watch as it was when I did not think it would be. So I'm
And it
on
often isn't.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So I was on the Three Men and the Little Lady train. And I thought it was going to be at the top of my list, by the way. And then I watched The Rescuers Down Under.
Well, I guess it would have had to have been at the top of my list too.
Really?
Because it's also my number 2.
Ah.
But I can't imagine. Thank heavens for The Rescuers Down Under, because I wouldn't have felt entirely comfortable putting it at the top of the list. Yeah, I mean, and again, really, I suppose these three movies are pretty much on a par for me. They both have the same number of strengths and weaknesses, but they're different strengths and weaknesses.
Okay, yeah.
But Three Men and a Little Lady, in the end, it just came down to it taking advantage of the sequel form a bit better than the other two.
Yeah, right.
And what it did with aging the characters.
We talked about
and
good
relating
sequel
to-
writing quite a
relating
bit,
to the first
I think.
movie.
Yeah, right.
And
right.
even though I dislike most of the second half of the movie, I still begrudgingly respect the right
Yeah,
of
but
the sequel to
the second
to
half of the
do
movie
a Beneath
is-
the Planet of the to do
Yeah,
this-
right.
the planet Beneath the Planet of the Apes thing, where you just make an entirely different movie.
And the second half of the movie is the half of the movie with Fiona Shaw.
Well, that's not an excuse for.
But it's a
For-
really fun performance. I mean, come on.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm
She
not
steals the
disputing
show.
that, but yeah, it's like I say, it's just a different movie, which I don't particularly enjoy. But as I say, I'll respect the right of a sequel to diverge
All right.
in the way that it did.
Yeah, that sequel had a sequel. I
That
think we
sequel had a
mentioned
sequel,
that.
exactly.
Yeah.
We did. And as you said, there's a lot of quality in there,
Mm-hmm.
diluted by a lot of nonsense, but
Sure. But
definitely.
there are poignant scenes, there are funny scenes, there's good character
Yeah, they
work,
even
there's
make
a
poignant
lot of
scenes
great
with.
acting going on, so
They even
oh,
have poignancy and faces, so
yes, they
that's
imagined to make faces work in that movie. They
one of the
find a
faces has
way.
a mustache as well. I mean,
One of the
when has that
most
ever
powerful
worked?
mustaches in Hollywood.
It is, in the words of Frank Drebin, awfully big mustache.
Good times.
Yeah.
All right. Now, is it a struggle on these last two films for you? What do you put third? Because you've got a middle of the road kind of noir film and then a crazy film,
Yes, exactly. That's the struggle, right?
right?
Which do you value more?
Yeah.
The right to sort of go out on a limb, or the right to play it safe?
I know which way I'm
Do you
leaning, but
know? Do you know? Because feel free to say. I'm gonna need some time.
I kind of want to put you under the gun though. So I'm leaning one way, but that's
I know
I'm
which
baffled that it's could be my choice,
is. Me too.
but I know which way I'm leaning.
I know which one. There's one I had more attachment to than the other.
Hmm. Yeah, that's interesting. I think
And
I think I might feel the same way.
it's Graffiti Bridge.
Yeah, I can't believe we're in lockstep. This is crazy. I really didn't think we would be.
Which is not to say that the Two Jakes is the disappointment that everyone seems to think it is.
I was surprised by how much I liked it this viewing.
But it is a disappointment. It
I think it has the most problems, and that's crazy to say in the light of
Graffiti
having
Bridge
watched Graffiti Bridge.
it's just a bag of stuff on screen. Right? It's a Prince goodie bag opened up for
Right.
everyone to see the interior.
You know when they put, like, when somebody's robbing a bank and they put a color bomb in it? That's what Graffiti Bridge is like. Kaboom!
Yeah.
But
yeah, I think I don't know. I mean, well,
I think
you're-
also, for me,
you're
part of
saying
it
that-
is the surprise. Is the surprise at what a fun watch in a batshit crazy movie I had.
Yeah, but also you're my control experiment, because I haven't seen Purple Rain.
Mm-hmm.
You have, and you're still willing to give this some play. So that's a sign that it's got something to recommend it, even if it's not Purple Rain.
Because it's so far the
And you could
opposite
say
of the
that about
movie
the
that
two-
precedes it.
The same about the Two Jakes as well, which is what
I mean,
makes
you
this so
can,
different.
but I mean, it feels like it's an in-kind movie. That's clearly what they're going for. Graffiti Bridge is not trying to be anything
Okay, yeah,
close to Purple Rain.
that is better. You're right. I'm convinced.
Yeah.
That's a good argument. Yes, yeah, and there's that sense we talked about that Two Jakes is a do-over of Chinatown, which is a movie that didn't need a do-over, and only the people
right.
making it seem to think it needs a do-over. So that's a black mark against it. Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm all in.
All right. Well, the Two Jakes goes to the bottom of both our lists. We are exactly the same. Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't think we would be. I thought Three Men might be lower for you.
It should be. But I have. I think
I think I like that movie a little more than you, though.
you like it. You like the movie more than I do. I respect the movie more than I like it.
Okay. Now you want to do good, bad on these four before
Not
ranking?
particularly, but let's do.
Well, do you want to do that before ranking it?
It's implied in our mandate, so
Do you want to do that before ranking them against the other 1990 single sequels?
I dislike that idea less? Is that what you want to hear?
Fine, fine.
Let's let's re-rank.
Wait, re-rank or good bad?
Oh, I don't know.
You made it sound like it was a
No, I
less
dislike
bad
the
idea.
of re-ranking less than going on to good and bad.
I don't even know what we're talking about anymore.
I have no idea what's going on.
Is The Rescuers Down Under a good movie?
Yes.
Okay.
Very good movie.
Me too. I
Has
declare
exactly
it good.
one flaw.
As previously stated.
Is that a great movie? I mean, I don't know. I'd have to watch it again to make that assessment.
All right, fine.
It's in the high very good category for me at the moment.
All right.
After a
Me
single
too.
viewing.
I'm going to go ahead and do what I don't think you're going to do, and I'm going to call Three Men and a Little Lady a good movie. I forgive
Why don't you
it's...
think I'm going to do that?
I know you're not going to do that.
You know I'm not going to do that?
I
Well,
think
now I
so.
have to do it out of spite. No. This is a close call. You're not too far off the radar, but it's a close call.
Are you going to go good?
It's right on the line.
I think it's...
Convince me. Come on.
Well, first of all, I think the first half of the movie is borderline. No, I'm going to talk myself out of it. Jesus. There are a lot of convenient story writing in that first half. Anyway, listen.
At least the story writing, though.
There is, yeah. But I find the whole movie charming. I really do. The lead actors are all charming. She's charming. There's good acting going on. There are things beyond just a generic sequel
Yes, that
are happening in that movie.
no disagreement there.
And for me, all of that adds up to enough good to be a good movie, period, done, end of my rant. It's good.
No, it's not a rant at all. It's a very, very compelling. Do the strengths of the film outplay the weaknesses?
Right. And for me, it's a
Yeah,
yes.
I think they do. I think they do.
All right.
I think it edges it. I think it's a good movie.
I thought you were going to edge the other way.
I should be more cautious, but I think the spirit of the film is good enough.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of nostalgia and affection for it.
Right.
No, I think, yeah, I'm content to say it's good. I think if this podcast has taught me anything, it's to give a sequel that's working at a higher level than most the benefit of the doubt.
All right.
And I think this is. I think you're right. The deciding factor for me of what you said. It's not a lazy cash in sequel.
Yeah. Right.
It's got the idea of a series, of a serial behind it,
Yeah.
and that counts for a lot.
All right.
I am coming to realize after seeing a lot of these films. Yeah, I'll call it a good movie.
Good. I'm glad. Now, what about Graffiti Bridge?
What about Graffiti Bridge?
What do you do with a movie like Graffiti Bridge?
What is the paradigm, right? What is the
Mm-hmm.
bad film?
Okay.
My instinct is to say bad film.
I feel the same way. I'm actually closer to calling... I like this movie more. It takes more risks. So I rank it above the two Jakes. And I'm not officially declaring yet. I think I have to call Graffiti Bridge a bad movie,
Mm.
but I'm closer to calling The Two Jakes a good movie.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
And now I have to decide
listener,
if
I'm
I'm
sure
going
this is
to
not
do that.
interesting to you at all. There's zero conflict here. You're having the same thoughts with a
Damn it.
slight delay between them. It's just the same person on a satellite delay.
Right.
Yeah, I have exactly. It doesn't make sense as a movie. It's a big bag of mostly good stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously Prince is in charge, so there's going to be a lot of highlights.
Right.
But it doesn't translate into anything.
But also,
Bigger than-
a
bigger
lot of
than itself.
abstraction, I think, too. There's...
Yeah, and I think either more abstraction or more discipline.
it needs one or the other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's trying to toe a line between a simple, well-told story and a kind of abstract artwork kind of a movie.
Yeah.
And those two fight each other too often for it to be consistently good movie. But so the package that Prince is delivering is at times marvelous.
It is, yeah.
Visually, orally, sometimes even dramatically. So it's rough. I don't like to say it, but
I get what you mean. Yeah.
yeah. It's storytelling adjacent.
Right. I mean, I mentioned on the podcast that it didn't feel like a movie to me.
No.
And I think I still feel like that. So
It
I
feels
have
like
to...
but it feels like a continuation of something you can't imagine the first half of.
Right, yeah. It feels as though the character from the first movie had a fever
Yeah.
dream,
Yes.
and that's this movie,
Yeah, exactly.
you know?
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I was right there along for the
should
ride.
Make it, that should make it better, but I think that's too much. I mean, what you're saying makes perfect sense, but that's headcanon, right? That's not
Right,
what this
yeah.
is. It's not what it is.
I do
the
not think
effect
that
of
was the
movie.
intent. Right.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. It's a bad movie.
All right.
But Prince is good.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah. Or bad meaning good,
Sure.
like his rival Michael Jackson.
Did you know that he invited Michael Jackson over and demanded him play a ping pong game with him? And Michael was like, I've never played ping pong before. He goes, well, we're going to play. And then just whooped his ass. I love that. I love
That
Prince.
makes me want to say it's a good movie. That anecdote. Because that is sort of like, yeah, and I hate to say this, but in watching this movie, we're like Michael Jackson. We're Michael Jackson in that situation. We've been taken to a house, shown something we don't understand or particularly want, and we just had to sit there and watch Prince be very good at it.
Right.
In a way that doesn't get us anywhere.
Yes. All right. Well, where's that leave you for the two Jakes? Are you close on good? I think I had a much stronger, connection to it this viewing than I ever have.
I agree with that. It felt more solid to me than it's ever felt before.
Yeah.
But it doesn't get above that. Above
I
sort
think-
of solid. It doesn't get above serviceable at any point. So that's, again, means it's right on the line because
Right. I think
I
maybe
could
it's
almost enjoy this as a Sunday afternoon movie,
I think maybe its downfall for me is it doesn't end well. It's not satisfying. Now maybe that's
Yeah.
unfair because
No.
I want the Chinatown ending, which you're never going to get. Maybe it's unfair to expect that level of an ending for this movie, but the ending I do get is so underwhelming that's what I feel I'm left with, is the underwhelming part.
Mm.
And it's probably enough for me to call it a bad movie.
Yeah.
And among other things, you brought up
So good to look at.
Yeah.
But then so's Graffiti Bridge, and that's
Yeah, right.
you know.
But there are weird choices in it.
I mean, yeah. There's some tonal problems for
There's
sure.
some tonal problems.
But then I think you can get away with them in detective films in a way you can't in. I don't know why.
Yeah.
That makes no sense. But I feel like, I'm trying to think back to The Big Sleep, and there's some very strange moments in that, and yet it all works together really well. Give it another few viewings. I think I don't know. Maybe I'll grow tired of it. But
yeah, I don't know if more helps or not.
No, I don't know if that helps or not. I don't think it's quite there. I'm going to call it a bad movie.
I think I'm on the same page
Under
with
par,
you.
to borrow a golfing term. A period golfing term.
I really came into it thinking I might call it good.
Yeah.
But in discussing it, I think I have to say for me, if it's bad, it's right on the edge. It's barely bad. I think it is barely bad.
The big surprise for me, yeah, barely bad, absolutely. The big surprise for me, I think, was how adept visually Jack Nicholson is as a filmmaker. I didn't
and also
remember that,
how understated he can be as an actor, which I really loved watching.
In 1990, for sure. Yeah. He doesn't fall into the Al Pacino trap.
Except for one scene.
Well, that's not really overacting. That's just wrong acting.
That's what I mean, though. Yeah,
yeah.
I wish his director brain could have said, that's the wrong choice for that character.
Yes.
Because it's completely against odds with the way that character is for the entire rest of the movie. I love watching Gittes be a stand-up guy at all times.
But that's
in the face of being given a choice to not be. And he's not, and he does the opposite in that scene, and I don't like it.
But he does stuff like that in Chinatown.
Yeah.
But Polanski's much better at managing the two.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Because he does some pretty lousy shit in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess Polanski has some insight into how to be a lousy piece of shit and get away with it your whole life. Yeah.
And still earn an Oscar.
An Oscar that you can't collect because you're wanted.
Because you can't come to the country. Hey, any chance you could put that in a box and send it to me? No, you have to come get it.
Although Nicholson's involved in that as well, isn't he? He's sort of like an accessory, not legally, but anyway.
Wow.
Don't want. Let's leave that to our lawyers working out the Gladden Entertainment case.
Yeah.
That we're currently
You're giving them so much work.
I know.
You're just raising our billable hours. Christ.
So that was my big. So it wasn't necessarily that it was the movie was better than I remembered it. It was that Nicholson was a better director than I remembered him to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's not enough to say that it's a good movie.
All right.
So
now,
too good, too bad.
Yeah. And we're in lockstep so far. What about re-ranking?
Oh, this will change now, I think, right? This is where we diverge.
Have you... I don't remember what we were before, frankly.
I do. I listened back to that episode.
Did you?
So, yeah.
If I was guessing, I would say I had Gremlins 2 at the top.
Yes, you did.
Probably by next was another 48 Hours, Young Guns 2, Troll 2.
Yes.
Okay.
That is indeed what you did. You know yourself very well.
What did you do?
I did Gremlins 2, The New Batch. Another 48 Hours. Troll 2, Young Guns 2.
That's right. I forgot about
Yet
that's
another
great.
movie I would like to go back to, and that if you remember that episode, you were already starting to convince me
Mm-hmm.
as we discussed it. So,
Good.
and it's one that I might go easier on now. I've seen more sequels.
Young Guns, you mean?
Young Guns 2, yeah.
Yeah. We've talked about this before. I just think that movie's so utterly watchable. I think it goes down so easy.
And I think I may have said this at the time as well, but I didn't find it that watchable, but I thought there was some interesting stuff going on.
All right. Now, would you still have Gremlins 2, the new batch, at the top of your list? Because it would be at the top of mine.
It's so difficult. Because my one criticism of that movie is exactly the kind of criticism that The Rescuers Down Under would eclipse it. Is that it's an incoherent mess.
I'm there for the ride.
I am, yeah,
It's still at the top of my list.
But
If for
funny
no
is it
other
to-
reason, because of what it has to say about sequels themselves.
But it's like almost, yeah, no, you're absolutely conceptually it's flawed. Metatextually, it is one of the best
Yeah.
movies ever. In a sense, you're sort of like you're evaluating Disney against Looney Tunes almost, right?
Right. Yeah.
Because Gremlins
I mean, that's
2 is Looney
reductive,
Tunes
but yes.
adjacent.
Yeah.
You Looney Tunes adjacent to Disney adjacent. Like Disney don't even,
Yeah. Right.
Disney have disowned Rescuers Down Under. So yeah, I'm still gonna keep Gremlins at the top.
All right. But it sounds like we're both probably going to put the Rescuers
Yeah.
underneath it, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
it deserves at least that. It probably deserves better. But
Go on.
I don't know. I really, I'm stumped. I was gonna say, compared to Gremlins 2, it's too straightforward. What does that mean? Meaningless. It's just verbiage.
Nonsense.
It's redundant. Can never be too straightforward.
You know what that movie is? Too straightforward and too many faces.
Too- It would just be like Leonard Maltin complaining about faces while Gremlins eat him.
Right, yeah. I don't want to
yeah,
talk you out of it, though.
Yeah, Gremlins 2, the new batch is. I mean, it as a sequel has so much going on
Yeah.
that it deserves to be at the top of the list,
All right.
despite confusion.
Well, now, where do you go after Rescuers Down Under? It seems like we're both around. Like, do you keep another 48 hours, or do you slide Three Men and a Little Lady
Yeah.
into that spot?
Well, they're both they're both middle of the road.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're not middle of the road, but their strengths and weaknesses are more or less kept in balance. I'd say
I'll agree with that.
they have, hits and misses, peaks and troughs that just about balances out. I'm going to keep another 48 hours.
I'm going to slide Three Men and a Little Lady.
Good.
Yeah.
I just don't think it doesn't feel right to give that movie more props than I've already given it.
I get it. But the things I reacted positively to in that movie, I reacted really positively to. So, and it has more of them than another 48 Hours ever does. Although I think another 48 Hours is just sort of, like you said, it's a middle of the road movie. But it's Walter Hill. I mean, it's a very competently made movie.
Yeah.
And I really,
It also,
I really like that movie.
Also, if you're comparing the two against each other, one earns its trash status, the other just becomes trash. So I'm gonna elevate the one that embraces its own trashiness, rather than succumbs to it.
That argument could almost sway me. Yeah, but it's not going to.
I thought you were going to say that argument could apply to any film we've ever done, which would have also been true.
Yeah, that's true.
I could pull that out of my pocket on any occasion to justify the nonsense I speak.
Yeah.
No. I'm gonna stick.
Okay.
It's just, I'm not gonna twist. I'm gonna stick. What
and
happened?
So now
but Three Men and a Baby is next.
Okay, that was my next question.
So we've done our top. How
and
many?
A Little
of these
Lady, I'm sure you meant to say.
Anyone listening to this show will be like, of course these two forgot about 4 1990 single sequels. They can't even remember it when they're talking about it.
Jackass 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Now we get into a weird place.
It's called Nyborg.
That's great. Yeah, do you
I don't want to piss on the hospitality of that movie, but I will.
I mean, so you got Troll 2.
So everything. But you said Young Guns 2 is a good movie.
I did.
No, we're not talking good or bad. Hang on. I don't know where it's. I'm in a vortex of. This is like 3 years of.
It's hard to keep this all straight. I'll
podcasting.
tell you that much.
It is hard to keep this.
We have 4 movies left.
So we just got. We're ranking. We're
just
top, the
ranking.
4. Okay, this should be easy. Nothing is riding on this.
But we've got Graffiti Bridge and the Two Jakes, along with Young Guns 2 and Troll 2. So, and it's funny because next on your list are the 2 batshit crazy movies. So which batshit crazy movie do you appreciate more?
Oh, Graffiti Bridge, but I like that I can just put them together.
So in order,
because they do. You're right. They go hand in hand.
Yeah,
but I put Graffiti Bridge over Trolls 2, for sure. But I also think about them in the same way. So yeah, next on the list, Graffiti Bridge, and then Trolls 2.
Okay. I still like Young Guns 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
so you got next.
I would go Graffiti Bridge after that.
Okay.
And then the question for me is Troll 2 or the Two Jakes. the 2 twos.
This is a dilemma that only the 2 of us will ever face.
I know.
It's like we're in a Blockbuster circa 1993 looking at 2. Like, is it Troll 2? Graffiti Bridge?
I don't know.
To 2 Jakes? It's like, we have movies from other years.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel bad because I feel bad putting either of these movies 7th or 8th, except that they have to be, as far as I'm concerned. These, I had a really good time watching Troll 2.
Yeah. Oh, well, that goes for all of them.
Yeah. You know what? I think I had a better time watching Troll 2, so I would put Troll 2 next, and then I'd end with the Two Jakes. That seems so pejorative against the Two Jakes, though. I really enjoyed watching that movie this round.
Yeah.
I really did. But
well, it's a high standard.
Yeah. It's last out of the 8 for me.
Okay.
Now,
I've already forgotten what I just did. So
You have the two Jakes and Young Guns 2 left. I think you have the two Jakes next, followed by Young Guns 2. But you tell me.
no, I'm gonna flip it.
Ho-ho! You never cease to surprise me.
But I'm coming in. It's because I'm coming in after having heard the episode
Okay.
that we did on Young Guns 2, and reminding myself of that I should give that movie more play. And knowing that, kind of, me and the two Jakes, this is as good as it's ever gonna get.
That's great.
You know what I mean? It's sort of like relationships in a good place can only be harmed with spending more time together. Whereas I feel like a relationship with Young Guns 2 will grow if I gave it another chance.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So
there you have it.
there you have it. Whatever
I'm not going to
whatever
run back.
we just did.
Whatever we just said is the
what
order.
it is. Rewind the episode back to when we said the things. Because I have no fucking idea what that ranking is. If you ask me now, it will be completely different.
I know. I think I'll put the two Jakes at the top.
No, okay, so we're both Gremlins.
So we both
2,
have Gremlins 2, followed by The Rescuers.
followed by The Rescuers. Then you go Three Men and a Little Lady.
I do, followed by another 48 hours, and you flip
I go another 48 hours, followed by Three Men and a Little Lady.
Yeah.
And that's all I remember. My long-term memory is better than my short-term memory. Is what
Then
this is
I go
telling me.
Graffiti Bridge, and I think you do too.
Yeah, I go Graffiti Bridge, Troll 2, Young Guns 2, The Two Jakes.
And I go Graffiti Bridge, Young Guns 2, Troll 2, The Two Jakes.
I'm very impressed you put Troll 2 above The Two Jakes.
Thank you.
That means that movie has grown for you as well in the past few years.
I'd like to watch that movie again.
We should do it as a watch-along.
Okay.
Because it bears no resemblance.
I know.
It fits that criteria better than the one we were using it for.
Yeah. All right.
Fantastic.
You want to pitch a little something?
We start to do good and bad. Don't we?
No, well, we already did it.
Well, we've already declared. That's right.
We don't have to redeclare the front half.
No, we don't.
I'm not changing.
Yeah, if you're not changing on anything.
Whatever I said, I stand by.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it as well. Yeah, let's.
But you could just do a flash pitch, a little quick pitch.
Okay.
Which movie would you pitch?
I got potential pitches for 2 of them. 2 of the new 4.
Well, I did my job.
They're no
I picked
good
one.
Gremlins, but which I doubled down on now. Now that because it's about zombies, and post The Last of Us, there's even more interest in zombies now. So I think it's even got more of a chance of being made than it had when we pitched it as a Walking Dead.
Well played. Well played.
There'll be more crying gay men in this one. I haven't seen The Last of Us. I know about.
You
what
just
I
know
read
of
about.
that. Yeah.
I know everyone was moved by that. That's all.
I
know.
haven't watched it either, but it's on the list.
Everyone was terribly moved by that episode.
I think it's episode 3.
See, isn't it crazy that we both know that and neither of us have seen it?
I know.
That tells you everything you need to know about media today.
Yep. All right, what's your pitch?
Again, this is just a thumbnail.
Quick, yeah.
One man. Well, I've actually changed it based on my the mistake I made earlier. The pitch is now called One Man and Three Little Babies.
All right.
So the basic idea is, what's Tom Selleck's character's name?
He's Peter. Right?
Peter.
Yeah.
And what's Nancy Travis's name?
Sylvia.
Sylvia. They're married. Sylvia gets pregnant. They go back to America. Sylvia gets pregnant. Triplets. So.
Oh, triplets! Wow.
It's about Peter trying to raise 3 babies, and that obviously means Mary. They decide that they're gonna utilize the trio in a different way by having Mary go live with Ted Danson. So it's about the two of them kind of. What's that movie, Curly Sue? I know there'll be no crime involved, but it's that kind of like, movies about where
Belushi.
you're living. Sorry?
James Belushi vehicle, Curly Sue.
Yeah, but movie, that'll
I'm gonna say
that part of the movie will be. Did you say 1990? Did it have a sequel? That we need to cover. That part of the movie will be about, a young person living with an adult who they are more mature than.
Could be 91. Sorry, I'm interrupting.
Whereas, the movie will be.
Yeah, 91.
To paraphrase Seinfeld, we'll find something for Steve Guttenberg to do. But anyway, so half the movie will be Peter's learning how to be a father to 3.
Now, why is she
babies.
going to Ted Danson?
No, Mary. Mary is.
Oh, Mary is. Okay.
They're like, we're gonna have 3 babies. We're gonna have our hands full.
Get the fuck out
during the period that
that's not nice.
Well, no, but it's like we've got our hands full now. You live with Mary and get closer to her. So that's One Man and 3 Little Babies.
All right. Should I do mine before you do your second?
Yeah.
Because mine's a 3 Men 2.
Oh, 3 Men 2? Is that the name of it?
No. I went for the obvious, the 3 Men and a Bride.
Okay.
So in mine, I think I'm setting it right now. Because that would mean that Mary's like 35 years old.
Tom Selleck is the police commissioner of New York.
Of course. So I have it that Sylvia died.
Steve Guttenberg's doing cameo videos.
So in mine, Sylvia has died off screen.
Oh, what?
Yep.
Oh,
Stick the knife in. And all the men had kind of broken up because...
deserve that. What did she die of?
Cancer.
They're all older than she is.
Cancer. What is cancer unrealistic?
I like how you were shouting it as if that was somehow less cold-blooded. You know what really convinces people I'm not cold-blooded? When I shout, "Cancer!"
I imagine I can throw the cancer at you.
And you swallow it.
Yeah. So Sylvia has died. The men had split up because both Peter and Michael had gotten married.
Okay. Which one's Michael? Steve Guttenberg?
Wait, did I say Peter?
Yeah, but I was asking about Michael.
Because Peter's Tom Selleck, isn't it? So Peter's
told
not.
Me that I don't know. I've only got your word on that. I don't know.
Tom
You're
Selleck
asking
is
me
Peter.
to confirm something I didn't know 15 minutes ago.
It's Jack. Jack and Michael got married. So
okay.
Ted Danson and Guttenberg got married. They also have both gotten divorced.
Oh.
So now Mary...
This is getting a bit...
Hang on. Mary is going to get married.
They're not getting the feel good from this.
Hang on. Mary is getting married. And she wants, of course, all three men to be there. Michael, Steve Guttenberg's character, has kind of, it's not that he's not involved, but he's drifted a bit further away from the pack. And part of that is because, like, I
He's
have
not
this...
as big a star as the other two.
There's that. But I also have this idea of what it would feel like to be Michael, and there's a biological father, and then a very real loving relationship with a stepfather, and he feels kind of isolated. Probably that's why he got married, even if it was to the wrong woman, and so there's a regression there. And they have to kind of bring him back into the fold. And
he could of course just remind them that, without him, the world would have ended due to nuclear war. So
you won't let it go.
I'm your Earth-saving father.
That's fantastic.
Look it up, everyone. Look it up.
At any rate, so Tom Selleck has never remarried because he loved Sylvia so much, and he just wanted to focus on Mary. And I kind of had this vague idea that, like, they didn't have another child because he ended up finding out that he couldn't have children. So it's just Mary in his life. And
It's
so
hard to believe that Tom Selleck is impotent.
I know, such a virile looking man. But that's what's in the script.
You're like that Disney executive we were talking about. I don't care what kind of movie you're making. This is what we do here. Every character is impotent, I tell you.
Yeah. Well, this is kind of where I got roadblocked. I started thinking of, maybe a wedding planner who all three men are interested in, and you have sort of the...
Played by Oh, I see. A female. I was going to say.
A female. No, yeah, not Martin Short.
Not played by Martin Short.
No.
Unless you want to go really...
Right. But what I was thinking was that they're all going to be men of a certain age. What are they, 70, 75 now, at least?
Really? All of them?
Probably.
Wow.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
But
this is the most depressing sequel I've ever
what it's going to be is
to
they're going to end up coming back together and living together.
So they can all die in the same room.
Yes. They
Three men in a funeral.
They reunite their... So what the idea was, they reunite their family so that we could then start a Golden Girls type television show, except for these three guys.
Well, I'm signed up for that. As
Thank you.
Could well imagine. So,
Three men and a
I
bride.
gotta ask.
Mm-hmm.
Who's Rose? Who's Blanche?
Well, Blanche
Who's
is Tom
Dorothy?
Selleck.
Oh no, I do.
No, wait,
Dorothy
not
is
Tom
another-
Selleck. Blanche is Ted Danson. Dorothy
Yes.
is Tom Selleck. So that
Right.
means that Steve Guttenberg is Rose.
And I guess Sheila Hancock is Sophia.
Yeah, we need a Sophia.
That was easier to match than I thought it was gonna be.
I know.
There really is only one right answer, isn't
Yeah.
there?
Yeah, there you have it. Three Men and a Bride.
Three Men and a Bride
Go second pitch.
comes with a Samaritan helpline on in the credits of.
There'll be hijinks. I thought
That's not that bad. I heard no hijinks. There was cancer, there was divorce, and then there was death.
Just as a little gift for you, I did think briefly, you know how the Three Men and a Little Lady starts with that sped up sort of recap of what's been going on. Could you imagine a sped up recap of like Tom Selleck in the hospital petting his dying wife, dying of cancer?
See, now you're making it better.
Yeah.
Like a sped up like like two attorneys speedily
Yeah,
drawing
and it
up
would be
a
all the
divorce
terrible
settlement.
things. It's like you see Ted Danson get married, you see Gutenberg get married, but then you see the fights and the divorces and the
But
closing
that's
the
when
door
you
and
slow it
goodbyes.
down. It could still work if you slowed it down at those moments. So all the good stuff is sped up, and then all
All the
bad
stuff
is
we
slowed
linger
down.
on for a while.
Yeah,
All right.
in slow mo. Wow. Okay. Well, that's a lot
Yeah.
to take in.
You heard me.
Well, again, it's only really a partial pitch, and it's really just a title with a few ideas attached to it of what
Okay,
the title
alright.
could mean. I don't know why I'm saying that as no different from the other pitches I do. It's a sequel to The Two Jakes, called Three Jacks, and it's set in 1960 during the presidential election, and a shell corporation created by Richard Nixon contracts Jake Gittes to
Oh,
get
nice.
photos of a philandering Jack Kennedy
Jack
while
Kennedy, nice.
he's in LA for a campaign stop.
Delightful.
Jake obviously doesn't know, a la Watergate, that Nixon is behind this. The person.
Subterfuge.
Right. Yeah. As far as he knows, he's just an independent contractor, trying to get pictures of a guy's wife who's cheating on him. But
He doesn't
obviously
know it's a presidential candidate.
Well, once he sees the photographs, obviously he recognizes Jack Kennedy's faces everywhere. He understands what's going on. And of course, well, not necessarily of course, but I'm making the decision that if one of the women that he will be philandering with is Catherine Mulvihill.
So you're gonna bring her back.
I'm gonna bring her back. Yeah.
All right.
So, but about halfway through the film, we find out that what the commission that he's in fact been sent on is a Jack Kennedy lookalike. So he's being conned from both sides. He's being hired under false pretenses, and it's not even Jack Kennedy. So
Gittes doesn't take that.
right. So there's two Jack Kennedys and one Jack Gittes.
I believe the third movie was gonna be titled Gittes versus Gittes, as in
it
he was
about
divorcing
him?
his wife.
Oh, I was gonna say that as a joke, but that's what actually the movie's about. Are you joking?
No, that was the planned title for the third movie.
What, in tribute to Kramer versus Kramer?
I don't know.
Anyway, so yeah, so I haven't really thought further
Past
than
that.
But obviously, as with the other two films, it'll be about unraveling the conspiracy whilst trying to protect Catherine's reputation and all of it.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've given you plenty to digest.
Yeah.
You've got rankings, you've got re-rankings, you've got good, bad, and pitches.
Yep.
Holy shit.
It was a everything sequel horn aplenty. Cornucopia of
Yeah, right?
sequel delights
A real treasure.
with 2 E's.
So you're going to have to tell us what you think. Where do you rank all 8 1990 sequels?
And while you're at it, tell us what we think.
Because we don't know.
We may have forgotten the decisions we previously
I'll
made.
say. Oh, I'm quite sure we both will forget this by tomorrow.
1990 was quite a year for sequels.
It was.
And we've only covered the single sequel part of that.
I know, right?
We've still got some sequel installments to cover
man.
from that year. At least one that I can think of right now.
What is it?
Godfather 3.
Of course. Yeah, good call. Oh, what a treat it'll be to get to those.
And like that movie, and as Al Pacino says in that movie, just when we thought we were out, they pull us back in.
Yep.
Fredo! Out the belly, fuck! No one remembers that bit of the scene, do we?
Calm down, would you?
No one remembers Al Pacino wandering around his kitchen, randomly shouting, "Out the belly, you fuck!"
No, I think we all remember it.
Oh, we've all tried to repress. We've not continued to quote it for good reason.
Right. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, you'll have to tell us what you think about all this nonsense. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. Send us that email to everythingsequel@gmail.com. His name is Tom Stewart. He's from Lonesome Whistle Productions. Michael Shantz here. I'm from the How Dare You Awards. When you hear us next, a whole brand new series coming at you. Say goodbye, Tom.
Cowabunga! Eat my shorts.
Perfect.